What's up you guys? Now in today's video we are going to be working on chapter 2.2 types of roots. So without further ado, let us get right into it. So before we get into the questions, let me spend a little bit of time just explaining to you what this subtopic is all about. So in this subtopic we are going to be learning about the different types of roots. So what does this mean? What is roots? What is this types of roots? So we know that roots means the x value, correct? Can be x1 and x2 because it's a quadratic graph. Okay, we are learning about quadratic, correct? So it's going to be x1 and x2. There's going to be 2x. Okay, so types of roots. So for example, when you learn about quadratic graph can either be n shape or u shape, correct? It can either be one. So let us assume we are going to take u shape, for example. Let us just focus on the u shape graph. So on a quadratic graph, it can exist in three forms. The first one is it doesn't touch the x-axis. Okay, that's the first type. It doesn't touch the x-axis. The second type is when it touches the x-axis, but it only touches at 1 point. Okay, you only have 1 point. And the third one is where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, when it crosses, you have 2 points there. Right, 2 points that is touching the x-axis. So let us look at the first case. So the first case here, you notice that it doesn't touch the x-axis. Since it doesn't touch the x-axis, therefore it does not have any roots, right? Because it's not even crossing the x-axis, sorry. So in this case, you will say that this graph, this quadratic graph, has no real roots. Okay, because it does not have any roots. The second situation, the second case here, you notice that it is only touching the x-axis. So therefore, it has one x value. But because it's a quadratic equation, it's a quadratic graph, correct? So you should have 2x value. But since it's only touching one point, so it means the 2x value are the same value. Okay, they are the same value. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, any number. But since it's only touching 1 point, so that point is the same for x1 and x2. Okay, so normally in situation like this, they will describe this graph as it has 2 real and equal root. Okay, real and equal root. The keyword here is equal. Right, because they have the same value. X1 and x2 has the same value because they are touching the same point. Okay, so the main word here is equal. It needs to have equal roots. The third case here is when the graph cuts through the x-axis at 2 points. Right, so it means they have 2x value. X1 will be a value and x2 will be a different value. Okay, the keyword here is different. Okay, it doesn't have the same x value. So usually they describe this as the graph has 2 real and different root. Okay, so the key thing, sometimes it says different, sometimes they use the word distinct. Okay, same thing, it doesn't matter. Distinct or different roots. Okay, so it means that it's in the third scenario here where it crosses the x-axis at 2 points. However, guys, what if the question does not give you the graph? Right, if it doesn't give you the graph, how would you know if it has real roots or it has no real root, it has equal root or 2 different roots? You know, how would you know? So usually when in situations like this, they will give you the quadratic equation. So for example, I'm going to take one of these. Let's say, okay, I switch it up. Let's say it's 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 equals to 0. So the question is, how would you know this graph here, this quadratic graph, is it going to be the case 1, case 2 or case 3? How would you know? So that is when we will use the discriminant formula. So discriminant formula is this: d equals to b squared minus 4ac. So this equation here, there are 3 possibilities. it's either this discriminant is more than 0, it can be equals to 0, or it can be less than 0. Okay, if it's more than 0, it means it's crossing the x-axis at 2 points. Okay, so since it's crossing at 2 points, you can say that it is more than 0. Discriminant is more than 0. If it is equal to 0, it means that it has 2 real and equal root. Okay, 2 real and equal root. That's why it's only one intersection. Okay, if it does not have any roots like this, no real roots, right, it doesn't cross the x-axis, therefore you can say that discriminant is less than 0. Okay, so this I'm going to write here, the case is b square minus 4ac should be less than 0 for no real roots. If it has equal root, you should say b square minus 4ac equals to 0. And the third one is when you have 2 real and different roots, it should be b square minus 4ac more than 0. Now if you don't understand what I'm explaining here, don't worry, okay? We'll go through the exercises and you'll understand better. So question is, how do you find all these b, a and c value? You find it through the equation that's given to you. So the first coefficient here, x square, the coefficient of x square is a. So a is 2, and then the coefficient of x is b. So b is what? Negative 3. And then the c value is the constant, right? The intercept. So it's positive 5. So using this ABC, you're going to substitute into this formula and determine which one it falls under. Is it this, this, or this? When you find out which one it falls under, then you will know whether it is no real roots, or 2 real and equal roots, or it is 2 real and different roots. Okay, so it's based on the answer you get from here. Okay, the discriminant value. Right, so let us go straight to the example so they can understand better. Find the discriminant and determine the types of roots for each of the following quadratic equations. So in this case, you see there are 3 questions here. You have this, this, and this. So we're going to solve each of these separately. So the first question, negative 3x squared plus 7x plus 5 equals to 0. So now you want to find the discriminant. So before that, you must find what's the a, b, c value. So the a value is the coefficient of x squared, which is negative 3. Okay, b value would be the coefficient of x, which is positive 7, and c value would be 5. Okay, now you can use your discriminant formula. So b square minus 4ac equals to, so b square is what? So you get 7 square minus 4, a is negative 3, c is 5. So you should get 49, positive 60. So your answer should be 109. So this is more than 0. So since you got 109, which means it is more than 0, so you can say that this quadratic equation has 2 real and different roots. Alright, number 2. Negative x squared plus 10x minus 25 equals to 0. So same thing, find your a value, b value, and c value. So coefficient of x squared is negative 1. Then the b value is 10, the coefficient of x, and c value is negative 25. So now use your determinant formula. B squared minus 4ac equals to, your b is 10 squared minus 4, a is negative 1, c is negative 25. So you should get 100 minus 25 times 4 is also 100. So your answer is 0. So because b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0, you can say that the answer for this quadratic equation has 2 real and equal, the keyword here is equal roots. Okay, it has to be equal because it's b square minus 4ac is equals to 0. So this is equal roots, right? Now let's look at the third one. So third one is 2x. So this one is extra work, right? You have to do one more step extra. So what you have to do is you have to expand this. So you get 2x squared minus 6x, sorry, plus 6x, then negative x minus 3 equals to 0. So 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals to 0. Now again find your a value, b value, and your c value. So what's the discriminant formula? B square minus 4ac. So b is 5 square minus 4, a is 2, c is negative 3. So 5 square is 25 positive 24. Answer is 49. So this is more than 0. So because it is more than 0, you can say that this quadratic equation has two real and different roots. Okay, remember the condition is what? B square minus 4ac. More than 0, it is two real and different roots. If it's equal to 0, you should say that it has two real and equal root. And if it's less than 0, it means it is no real roots. Okay, right, find the values or range of values of p such that the equation x squared plus 2px plus, okay, whatever this is, has no real roots. So what is no real roots? If it is no real roots, it means b squared, the discriminant formula, b squared minus 4ac should be less than 0, okay, because it has no real roots. So that's what we're going to solve, okay. But first thing, we have to find what is the b value, a value, and c value, and we have to get that through this equation here. So we're going to solve that. X squared plus 2px minus, sorry, not minus, I'm going to expand this, so I get p squared minus 3p minus p plus 3 equals to 0. So x squared plus 2px plus p squared minus 4p plus 3 equals to 0. So now you know your ABC value. So a value would be equals to 1, b value equals to 2p, c value is equals to p squared minus 4p plus 3. So now we can put this into your formula. So b squared would be 2p here, square, minus 4. What is a? A is 1. C is p squared minus 4p plus 3. And the answer should be less than 0. So here you get 4p squared minus 4p squared plus 16p minus 12 less than 0. So here you can cut off. So 16p would be equals to 12, and p would be less than 12 over 16. So you can simplify this, divide by 4. So you should get p is less than 3 over 4. Okay, this is your answer. Find the range of values of k if the equation x squared plus k equals to kx minus 3 has two real and different roots. So what is real and different root? So when you see this, you know that the equation is b squared, the discriminant formula, b squared minus 4ac is more than 0, okay, more than 0, because it has two real and different roots, so it's more than 0. So the first thing is you have to find your ABC value. So using the equation that's given to you, I'm going to change color, x squared plus k equals to kx minus 3. So you're going to shift everything to one side. Minus kx plus k plus 3 equals to 0. So what's your a value? A value is 1. B value is negative k. C value is k plus 3. Okay. Now you can substitute into your formula. So b square is negative k square minus 4a is 1. C is k plus 3. And it has to be more than 0. So k square minus 4k minus 12 more than 0. So this is similar to the previous subtopic, right? How we are going to solve inequality. So first thing is you're going to let k square minus 4k minus 12, you're going to let it become equal to 0. Okay, so that we can solve this. So you're going to factorize this. You should get two values of k. So you will get k minus 6 and k plus 2. So from here you know that k is equals to 6 and k is equals to negative 2. So how do you find the answer? Remember, there are three ways for you to find this answer for inequalities. Either using sketching method, line method, or table method. So I'm just going to use sketching method. Okay, so you're going to do your graph, and then this one is what? More than, correct? More than. The sign is more than. So because it is more than, you're going to take the 2 at the side. Okay, so this value here is what? This value here is negative 2. This value here is 6. So the k value, the answer for this, okay, the range of k, it can either be k less than negative 2 or k more than 6. Okay, now one more thing. It also says here, state the value of k if equation has two real and equal roots. So here is another equation. The discriminant formula would be b square minus 4ac equals to 0. Why equals 0? Because they have equal roots. So this one is another answer you're going to get. So in this case, b square minus 4ac. So b square minus 4ac equals to 0. So b square is what? You've already found it here. Okay, your ABC value. So you're going to substitute this into the new equation. So negative k square minus 4a is what? C is k plus 3 equals to 0. So if you notice, right, is equal to 0. So in the end, you're going to get this. You're going to get this equation, correct? You're going to expand this, and in the end, you're still going to get this equation. So I'm just going to skip straight to this. So it's going to be k square minus 4k minus 12 equals to 0. So k is, factorize this, I should get k minus 6, k plus 2 equals to 0. So k is equals to 6, and k can also be equals to negative 2. So same thing, got two answers here. The quadratic equation x squared plus hx plus k equals to 0 has roots of negative 2 and 6. Find a, the value of h and k. So this question, right, is actually very similar to the previous subtopic. So I've already taught you all how to find a quadratic equation when they give you the roots. Okay, there are two ways you can do it, but I'm going to use I mean, it's up to you how you want to use it, but I'll use the SOR POR way. Okay, so first thing you want to find is to form your equation, you know that you need SOR and POR. So SOR is sum of root. So negative 2 plus 6, you get positive 4. And then POR is what? Negative 2 times 6. Answer is 12, negative 12. So now you got SOR and POR. So your equation is going to be x squared minus SOR x plus POR. So what is it? It's going to be x squared minus 4x plus negative 12. So it's equals to x squared minus 4x minus 12. Okay, and now you're going to compare with the equation that they gave you, which is x squared plus hx plus k. So what's the value of h and k? h is equals to negative 4 and k is equals to negative 12. Okay, question A solved. Now we're going to look at question B. So they're asking here the range of values of c such that the equation x squared plus hx plus k equals to c has no real roots. See, the keyword here is no real roots. So that means the discriminant formula would be b squared minus 4ac less than 0. Why? Because it has no real roots. So it's going to be less than 0. So we're going to solve this. First thing is you have to find your a, b, c value. So the equation here is x squared plus hx plus k equals to c. You've already found the h and k value, which is x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals to c. So you're going to bring the c in. So x squared minus 4x minus 12 minus c equals to 0. So what's your a value? A value is 1. Okay, the coefficient of x squared here is 1. So you're going to take 1. B value is negative 4. C value is negative 12 minus c. Okay, now you're going to substitute into your formula. So it's going to be b squared minus 4ac. B squared is negative 4 square. Sorry, here should be less than 0. Minus 4, a is 1, c is negative 12 minus c less than 0. Here you get 16 positive 48 plus 4c less than 0. So what is 4c? 4c would be negative 48 minus 16. So you get negative 64. So c, the range of c would be 16. So negative 16. So this is your range of value c. So that is all for this video. These are the two main things that we have covered for this subtopic. I hope you have learned something and I'll catch you on my next video. Right? Take care. Bye bye.